Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old matriarch whose sudden disappearance from her Tucson home shocked her community, led a life far more complex than anyone suspected. Known to family and friends as a devoted mother and grandmother, she harbored a secret existence spanning over 30 years. Her family, including her famous daughter Savannah, were unaware of this hidden world until a mysterious package arrived days after her vanishing. Inside, a faded photograph and cryptic message hinted at a life Nancy had built parallel to her Tucson family, revealing a story of love, art, and secrecy that would upend everything they thought they knew. Life in Tucson. The devoted matriarch Nancy Guthrie became a widow at 47 after her husband Charles died of a heart attack in 1989, leaving her with 3 teenagers. Friends remember her as the epitome of resilience, a woman who transformed her modest ranch-style home in Tucson's Catalina foothills into a haven of stability. She balanced part-time bookkeeping work with church volunteering, providing a consistent, nurturing environment for her children. Her guidance shaped Savannah, Annie, and Cam, blending faith, humor, and determination. Nancy's life in Tucson was one of dedication, masking the restless spirit that would later emerge, a careful balance between family obligations and the secret yearning that would define her hidden persona. The first clue, the mysterious package. The first inkling of Nancy's secret life arrived not in a confrontation, but in a simple, unmarked envelope delivered to Savannah's New York home on February 6, 2026. Inside was a photograph of Nancy in her youth, standing with a man unfamiliar to the family, outside a small cafe in Santa Fe, New Mexico. A cryptic note on the back read, "She deserved more than secrets. Ask about Elena." Savannah shared it with her siblings, who were stunned. The photo, dated 1992, 3 years after their father's death, hinted at a life Nancy had carefully concealed. This discovery became the key that unlocked the decades-long story of her parallel existence. The Santa Fe connection. Nancy's hidden life began in 1991 during a rare solo trip to Santa Fe for a church retreat. Grieving her husband, she met Victor Ramirez, a 45-year-old artist and gallery owner from Mexico City. Victor, widowed years earlier, embodied everything Charles had not: artistic, passionate, and free-spirited. Their connection, rooted in shared loss, grew from friendship into a secret romance. Nancy returned to Tucson, changed but silent, unable to tell her children. Her weekend trips to Santa Fe became a way to nurture this alternate life. While publicly devoted to family, she secretly explored passion, art, and intellectual freedom, a contrast that would define her hidden persona. The birth of Elena Victor, nicknamed Nancy Elena, after a beloved character in a Mexican novel, symbolizing her hidden fire. Under this alias, she helped run Victor's gallery, curated exhibits, and even created her own paintings, a pursuit she had never explored in Tucson. Financially, she supported Victor quietly, funneling small amounts from her bookkeeping income into his gallery. Socially, she thrived among artists, writers, and freethinkers, attending fiestas, debating philosophy, and embracing a vibrancy suppressed for decades. Elena was bold, expressive, and unburdened, contrasting sharply with the dutiful widow her children saw. The dual life became both her refuge and a source of strain, as guilt and secrecy weighed heavily on Nancy over the years. Balancing two worlds. Through the 1990s and 2000s, Nancy expertly balanced Tucson and Santa Fe. She baked for grandchildren, attended church potlucks, and guided her children's milestones, while simultaneously managing gallery operations, painting, and socializing as Elena. Her children remained unaware, believing her trips were retreats or visits to friends. This compartmentalization allowed Nancy to maintain her family responsibilities while nurturing her artistic and emotional freedom. Victor respected her boundaries, keeping their relationship discreet, Handwritten letters and secret phone communications helped sustain their bond without leaving a digital trace. For 3 decades, Nancy maintained this delicate equilibrium, living a hidden life of adventure and devotion. The strain of secrecy. The long-term secrecy took a toll. By the 2000s, Nancy's health began to decline, and the guilt of her hidden identity weighed heavily. Victor recalled arguments about her internal conflict. The pandemic exacerbated her anxiety, forcing her to stay in Tucson and confining her alternate life. Encrypted messaging became their lifeline. Post-pandemic, her trips resumed but remained shorter, with Nancy showing signs of distraction and paranoia. Odd phone calls and suspicious cars added to her unease. Despite these challenges, she clung to her dual existence, feeling responsible for her children's perception of her as a steadfast widow while still seeking freedom and identity as Elena. The financial puzzle investigation into Nancy's finances revealed irregularities. Small withdrawals from her Tucson account matched deposits in Santa Fe, supporting her secret life. Yet one anomalous transfer in December 2025, $5,000 wired to an unknown account in Mexico, raised alarms. Victor claimed ignorance, but authorities suspected blackmail or external interference. Someone might have discovered her secret and used it against her. Letters and photos from her locked box were missing from the crime scene, suggesting a targeted theft. The financial trail highlighted the risks inherent in Nancy's dual existence, where a lifetime of careful concealment could unravel in a single moment. The FBI investigation, FBI interviews with Victor, revealed the depth of Nancy's hidden life. Agents learned how she managed both households, contributed to Victor's gallery, and maintained personal secrecy. Victor emphasized her love for her children and her internal struggle to remain the widow they depended on. Investigators also explored her final trips to Santa Fe, the mysterious Mexico wire transfer, and potential threats from gallery rivals or local acquaintances. Suspicious activity near her Tucson home in recent months added urgency. The investigation suggested her disappearance was personal, tied to blackmail, jealousy, or a threat that recognized her dual life rather than random crime. Family shock and reaction. On February 9th, Victor's full statement stunned the Guthrie family. Savannah, Annie, and Cam confronted the reality that Nancy had lived as Elena for decades, maintaining a secret lover, artistic life, and financial independence. Savannah admitted privately that understanding her mother's double life explained both her strength and her emotional distance, revealing the sacrifices Nancy made to protect the family's perception. Public reaction echoed this complexity: admiration for her courage, fascination with the romantic secret, and speculation about blackmail motives. The family released a brief statement emphasizing privacy and hope for Nancy's safe return, leaving the world to grapple with the layered mystery of a mother they thought they knew. The cultural impact. Victor's gallery became a focal point of media attention, with locals recounting Elena's kindness and community involvement. Nancy's story resonated as a tale of duality, independence, and self-expression, hidden behind duty and expectation. The public response highlighted how private rebellion can coexist with familial devotion. Online, the narrative spurred speculation about the disappearance, motives, and the blurred line between personal freedom and societal norms. For decades, Nancy had balanced conformity with adventure. Her secret life as Elena illustrates the human complexity of identity, desire, and the lengths someone may go to protect both family and self, even at great personal cost. Unanswered questions. Despite the revelations, the mystery deepens. Was Nancy abducted, or did she leave voluntarily to escape exposure? Who accessed her hidden correspondence and financial records? Investigators trace leads in Mexico and Santa Fe, resurveying Tucson neighbors and following tips about a mystery man seen near her home. The vanishing seems tied to her private life, suggesting jealousy, blackmail, or personal vendetta. Yet Nancy's decades of careful planning underscore her resilience and resourcefulness. Her story is a reminder that even the most ordinary lives can conceal extraordinary secrets, and unraveling them may take persistence, intuition, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Conclusion: the legacy of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie's life defied expectations. The devoted Tucson mother was also a passionate, free-spirited woman, navigating decades of secrecy as Elena in Santa Fe. Her story combines grief, love, artistry, and courage, revealing the tension between duty and self-expression. While her disappearance remains unresolved, the revelations illuminate her complexity and the sacrifices she made to maintain dual identities. For her children, the truth is bittersweet. Admiration, grief, and awe intertwined. Nancy's legacy is not just in her family, but in the courage to pursue a life authentic to one's desires, even when the world sees only